All right, here we go. We're going to jump right into it. Hey, who wants to be organized? Why not just have things floating around in your pockets or in the bottom of your purse and yada, yada, yada? You know the deal. Right. So we have a product called the Everyday Organizer, and I love it. It's our limited run product for the month of April. So no April Fool's joke. I ain't messing around. This isn't going to be a loadout video, and I'll end up doing a couple more, but I just do want to do kind of a shorter, I know, laugh it up, fuzzballs. Oh, there you go, saying short again. Yeah, it never happens that way. But anyway, shorter video. This is mine. I've had this forever. One of my props fell out. That's what you get for trying to be all slick and everything. Here's mine. All right, this one I've had forever. And here, let me zoom in a little bit. Yeah, wrong way. There we go. Yeah, so this is in ATAX AU, the original AU. You can see this thing's been around. I've had it for a very long period of time. So this is a retention strap right here to just help keep it from flopping open. And I'll show you that off in a second. But then, you can open it one side or the other. Take these two off. That opens it up. And then you can access this pocket. Or, I'm looking in the camera. You still got to do it. Or go to the back side, open it up, and then it accesses this pocket, right? I'm just going to take the whole thing off. And then that security strap also is a place to keep your pens. I'm a big fan of Sharpies. That's a mechanical pencil, and that's a space pen, right? That's just me. You do you, but Sharpies, they are very versatile. And then up front, each one of these is a pocket. Let's see what I got in here. Oh, and there I just got a little Write in the Rain notebook. And see the other videos. So, here, I guess we'll just do it this way real quickly. So, we're looking at, these rulers kind of stink. Oh, no, there we go. So we're looking at about 4.5 inches on the front, and top wise, you're looking at about 7 inches, that way. So about a 4.5 by 7, 4 by 7 type. So when you get into the larger, I should have had one. So this is just the smaller. This is a Black Scout Survival. You can see it right there. It's a smaller Write in the Rain notebook. These are great notebooks. Highly recommend anyone get one. This is a good pocket size. There are larger Write in the Rain notebooks. You could fit it in there and secure it, but at that point, you really need, you need like a messenger bag or a haversack or something like that. So for just that, there you go. That something of that size fits in there perfectly. Here's where this guy usually goes. But like I said, I was trying to set it up. That's just my business checkbook. So you can see I already got 2 things in there, and there's still plenty of room. I could slide a couple other smaller items inside of there. So you got plenty of storage space on the front pocket, the back pocket, right? Same type of thing, Velcro. And here should be my external. Yep, this is my external hard drive, and the cables down in there, but just, external hard drive for my business, kind of want to keep that with me. And it's nice to have if like, oh, I got to find something and do that. And then, send something to somebody or keep a record or where's that PowerPoint I have or whatever it is. Then on the side, I'm just going to pull this out. Give me a sec, feed that back through so I can show you what I'm doing here. So the spine, you got 2 things of elastic, right? And that's for flashlights, chem lights, pens, or maybe nothing at all, right? But for me, I like doing that. And so you can see what I've just done here is I took a piece of shock cord, attached it to the bottom of the chem light, and then I can just, made a knot. And I'll just talk and ain't doing this, I always say. So I just feed it through from top to bottom. A little too much. That's what she said. There we go. Feed that all the way through the bottoms, run that through, and then I can just bring this back over the top, pinching it in place, and now it's totally secured. Inside, it's a clear vinyl area inside, so you could put map sheets in there, GRGs, grocery list, and you can write on this with like a grease pen, an alcohol pen. Do not use the Sharpie marker. Do not. No bueno. No bueno. But a dry erase marker, you can write on this. And sir, you know who you are. I'm always going to bring it up. And to clean that off, you know, if you're unsure, always just do a little test in a corner. Somebody used a pen or some, I can't remember how it went, but they used or no, either they intentionally used mosquito repellent because there's alcohol and chemicals in there, or they got some on here. Like this is a really good high speed, vinyl, cold rated to I think 20 below. It's legit, right? But it's plastic, and if you put corrosive materials on there, it's gonna kind of corrode it and everything. So they're trying to do the lights. That's just a little chunk of a VS17 panel because this is an open area. All of this stuff can come in and out. You can put what in there that you want. That's just a little VS17 panel I keep in there just so you got a little bit of a color background. So, because again, whatever your background is, for your Kadura might not be sufficient for you to see, whatever your notes are over here. So adding a little something back there, that's just, again, a little piece of, VS17 panel. Here's something that we might do, kind of depends on you guys. That isn't going to show up as well there. Now you're kind of starting to see it. That's a chunk of a luminescent tape. That's the back side. That's the front side. So if you can kind of see, this would reflect, right? So as it collects all this light, it's going to glow. Or you can just put a piece of paper in there with lines, and just make it like your little shopping list. Again, you just do you, however it works. But where I was getting sidetracked is I have this material. I bought some sheets. I don't have that on the website, but if it's something that you're interested in, just give me when I call you and go over the product, or if you're curious, shoot me an email. I'd probably charge you, I don't know what yet. And then also in there, I just got a little emergency kit that I got from Jack over at Black Scout Survival, just to help in case you got to get back into the house, right? And then here, so just give you an idea. Now that pen isn't the best, right? But, it's kind of old, but that's the whole point, and then, if you needed to, then you can get it and, get it off and write a new list. See some of the pictures on the website. Some of those are older pictures, but they still totally apply. You can use this for games, battleship, flip it this way. There's a whole bunch of different options. Again, I'm not going to go into all that stuff right now, but just look at the pictures on the website. And then last but not least for this video, so this is one I had from Christmas. This was kind of our, Christmas Don't Yell at Me. It's got a Velcro patch panel on there. So if you want to put your little cool guy patch on there, this is Cerakoted Coyote Brown snaps. It's all multicam. I'm going to make another one of these, probably for me, because I got to have me my Nemesis camo. But this one, it's brand new. But because I'm using it for this video, I'll never consider it brand new. So if somebody's interested in multicam, I'll give this one away at a discounted cost, right? You just got to reach out to me. But I'm going to make another one in Nemesis, and I'll show you why now, right? So, and I've got for two reasons, right? So here we go. Put your snowblind goggles on. I don't want this to be too bright. That X-Pack, I'm warning you, that X-Pack is bright. So I just cut a chunk of X-Pack. It's so bright, Mark. Turn the lights down. I put a chunk of X-Pack in there to give you an idea of what that would look like. Now, I haven't made one yet, but I don't see why we couldn't do that. So I'm going to make one in Nemesis, and I'll have X-Pack, that whole... So that's how it normally is, right? So instead of you seeing this part of the Kadura, I'm going to replace it with this X-Pack, and I'm going to make that Nemesis. But this is just one that I did have extra that's brand new. So if somebody is interested in multicam, you can have this one at a discounted price, because I needed something so I could show that off a little bit better there. But look at that. And then now let's just put it to the test. Talking ain't doing, never is. Let me grab my little Sharpie, or not Sharpie. Now I've got it Sharpie on the brain. No Sharpie, no bueno. Do not use a Sharpie. But if you did use a Sharpie, if you did, write over it immediately with the Sharpie, and then don't smudge it and get that stuff off. I mean, if you write on the Sharpie very quickly with the Sharpie, it'll kind of loosen it up and you can kind of maybe get it off. So let's just do this. Yeah, I'm going to have to get a new, yeah, this pen, this guy's dead, but you'll see, you know, so you could read it. You know, it'd be better if this was a brand new, oh, and I just had the dry erase board behind me, and I got dry erase markers there, but this dry erase marker is dead. I'll have to replace it. But you see, so having that orange, that X-Pack in there would help you be able to better read, you know, whatever your shopping list was, or, you know, whatever you're doing. And again, just, you know, if that kind of stuff comes off pretty good, not so much when it shuts, it'll hold, right? It won't smudge unless you're just like trying to intentionally smudge it. But yeah, so right now the X-Pack isn't on the website. Stay tuned. But if you are interested, and somebody already reached out to me today about this this morning, that's what it would look like on the inside. And it'll probably be like a $2 to $3 upcharge. This X-Pack material is pretty expensive, so I'd have to charge a little bit more. But anyway, we'll figure it out as we go. That's it. That's the why am I putting this in there, right? Shouldn't I just grab a new one of these before I put it in here? But I'm a guy, and well, that's where it goes. It's got to go back to where it belongs. Get in your home. Now I got to make myself a note. Grab a new dry erase marker and throw it in my Edo. All right. Hey, so that's the Edo video. I do think that is going to be pretty cool. I mean, you know, just again, another thing, if nothing else, that's an improvised signal marker. You know, if that's all you had, that's better than nothing. And that's pretty damn bright. You know, it's catching the lights right now, but that is pretty bright, that X-Pack. I'm really liking it. So there's our Edo video. That's the limited run product for the month of April. The Sentinel Ruck, right over there. Well, that's one of them, and then the other guy's over there, but you get the picture. Sentinel Ruck, I'll keep that up until sometime after Easter. All right, boys and girls. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you found it informational. Reach out if you ever got questions, comments. I'll do the best I can to help you out. Until then, keep thinking, keep moving, never quit. See ya. Woo!